you prepared how you need to. Now it's, you know, so I did the preparation. I did what I need to. So, but now I've got a job to do. There's no time for fear. You know what I mean? There's no time for second guessing yourself. I know what to do. I'm going to be confident doing it.
Bald Volk is here this week.
Bald Volk is here to everybody.
Emilio, the Honeybadger,
Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Honeybadger Hour. This episode of the Honeybadger Hour podcast is brought to you by the original Clippers Barbershop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Honeybadger Hour, UFC 290 exclusive. Today we have the great privilege to be joined by the UFC Featherweight World Champion and pound for pound #1 ranked champion in the world, Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
That was meant to be a cheering like from the crowd.
Yo.
What I was doing.
Yo, Big Volk, fourth time on the pod, my man.
How are you, my man? It's always good, eh? It's always good to catch up with you. I mean, we've done the pod. Have we done this in person yet?
This is the first time in the flesh.
Yes, so there we
This
go.
is the real deal.
It's
Holyfield now.
gonna
you
hit
know?
different, you know. I mean, different energy.
Yes, that's what we're looking for, baby.
Let me face you. There we go.
We got the fight week energy. I love it, man. So Volk, last conversation we had, you were talking about, you know, how good it was to have Israel Adesanya as a teammate and somebody that's like kind of on your level, right? And that you guys were kind of both going through the same things. And even though you're kind of very different athletes and different champions in your styles and perspectives, but the people and who you are, right? Like the things you're dealing with. And I was thinking, like, when we spoke about that, I was like, wow, man, that must be super important as a champion right now to have somebody, because it's like you got the boys, right? Like you were saying, you were connected to all of us, your coaches, your team. But how many guys can you talk to on a personal level about like championship stuff? You know, it's like Einstein hanging out with middle schoolers. You know what I'm saying?
No, well, that's it. So obviously, like you got the connection. Like obviously, I got a connection with a lot of people, but then it's a different connection, I guess. Where we are both at the same point of our careers, and big things happening. So there's like another layer to it, another like understanding what it's all about, and then feeding off each other. But like learning off each other as well. Like I learn a lot from him. Like, you know what I mean? Even when it comes to confidence and being comfortable, like little things like that. Something that I've always, like, you know, him really owning whatever it is, right? And like I've learned a lot in that sense. Where so there's like, I don't know, it's a weird connection. Obviously there's so many deep connections, right? Like you got a deep connection with your family and deeper connections with friends you've had your whole life, and then deep connections with we met in Thailand. Like there's a whole story, you know, there's all different types of connections, and they're all deep in different ways. But this one's obviously deep in a different way as well because of that extra layer.
Yeah, it's got to be good to have somebody to talk to. Just like I remember you were saying after his fight, you guys were talking, and just you probably could share that same energy, you know? It has to be big for right now, especially when you guys are both at the peak of your careers right now as champions, you know?
Yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, it's just you know, it's it is different. The conversation, especially, that's what you see in my reaction. I think we talked about it last time. My reaction of his fight, I guess, for me, I always keep myself chill and all that. But then, but with him, like it's like I'm not in there. I'm not trying to keep myself controlled or anything. So it's someone that I know what he's going through and how big it is, but I'm not in control. You know what I mean? But I'm still connected. So then I was like, whoa, that's why I just like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like I watch all teammates. I'm always going to get a reaction like that, but probably not like that, because obviously the levels of, or how, look, the magnitude of what it is, right? Them fights, them title fights, the defenses and all that, you know? So like the magnitude of it, and then me understanding the magnitude of it because I'm in a same situation, a similar situation.
Yeah, it's stakes that only a few people in the world are ever going to understand, you know?
Yeah, so it's a good point that you make there for sure.
It's like, you know, the best, like LeBron James, you know, who does he talk to? Like, he might have other guys, but they're on different teams. So, like, maybe they can't even be that tight, right? But, like, at least with you guys, it's different weight classes, so you can just really, you know, vibe off each other. And you can see it when you guys are on camera and stuff. You can see it, you know, it resonates really strong, man. Yeah,
so we just did a little interview then. Like, we can't say what it's for yet, but I mean, and it's good. Like we had there was a few of us there, but we'll just again vibe each other. Easy conversations to have, which are like even the camera crew there is like oh wow, that was great. Like, you just rolled off each other like so easily. It's like, yeah, it's pretty easy.
I was talking to Big Joe about that. The UFC must be, I feel like you guys set a different precedent. Like the boys, when you guys show up on UFC nights and fight weeks, when like with the unity we have and like and how everybody's always together and like we kind of like roll the force. But then like, I remember even in your last fight when you were fighting Makachev, you know, like when you were walking out and you could see like, that's one of the things I want to talk to you about, right? Like you look at your boys and you're just like, all right, boys, let's go get it. And you're just like so calm and cool, you know? Do you know how you ever got like, how you, that's something that just kind of came natural to you, or is it just through your work ethic? I've always...
Yeah, I think it came naturally, really. I think through time as well. But always trying to keep myself composed and knowing that I had to do that. I don't know how I'm able to do that, but that's what I've done through the whole process. Whether it's interviews and all that, always try to, all right, keep calm, you know, composed, and try to control my emotions, try to, you know, avoid, you know, so maybe going through life, always trying to control those things. Controlling those situations I'm in and adapting to them, you know what I mean, and never getting too flustered in anything in life. Maybe that helped, and then going through that process and then trying to keep myself composed and level-headed and slowly doing that, and then just absolutely nailed it now, where I go out there and I know what I need to do. All right, okay, well, like, yeah, I need to boost myself up a bit. All right, cool, I'm going to try and amp myself up, you know, come on boys, let's go, get the crowd to ramp me up. Like, I'm at a situation now where I'm like, all right, I need to be more emotional. That's how composed I am and calm I am and focused I am. Like, I'm like, all right, I need to be more emotional, more fired up. I'm going to boost myself up. You know, not many, most people trying to keep themselves down, or they're just too much. They're like, oh yeah, the adrenaline went, I got nervous. I was like, I don't get that. I was like, oh, I need to get myself there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so is that something you can also use it, you can translate that into real life? Or I wonder if maybe that's just things that happen throughout your life and like as a man growing up, and then you can translate it to MMA, because you had a pretty like you had a rugby career before MMA, and you started off when like a little bit, you're already like a little bit mature in life, right? When you started training MMA and stuff.
Yeah, I was, yeah, definitely. So that's whether that played a part, but I mean, there's something there, whether like, you know, growing up with the family, obviously the family environments, which I had a good childhood, but like just the way I was probably brought up adds to that, and then I don't know, just going through sports and whatever it is, I couldn't tell you, I couldn't point the finger. I'm still trying to figure it all out. You know, I'm figuring out more and more about myself the whole way through. I just think it's you know, whether there's genetics, whether it's, you know, it's in our blood, whether, you know, life experiences growing up, and then just, you know, and all adding up.
No, for sure. Have you ever looked into like the Daily Stoic? You ever look like Marcus Aurelius meditations and like stoicism and stuff like this?
No, not really. I haven't looked into it, to be honest.
Because you
whether I naturally do a lot of these things in my own ways, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I've been reading this book, Marcus Aurelius, which is like what is he called, like the philosopher king back in the Greek days, you know, and he was like, he wrote a lot of these passages where it's like a lot of it transcends. You can just use it today. It's kind of like a Bible for like keeping calm under pressure, like the duties of a man, you know, like keeping cool, even when things aren't going so right, you know, hey guys, don't worry. It's all right. We got this, you know, so I always wondered if you would like read some of those books or anything like that. Cause it's just something that comes really natural. I noticed.
No, I haven't. But I mean, it is something that's, I guess I've always understood that and always try to keep myself, like you can think about it back in them days, right? Like how, imagine going to world war knowing that you're about to, you maybe die or something like that, and you're keeping you composed. These people are like, oh yeah, sweet, let's go, I'm fighting. Like, you know, it's crazy. So it's always been there, you know what I mean? Like, and then you talk about, so he talks about.
Yeah, he talks about like he always has like these great sayings, you know, like there's like he'll put like there's like YouTube videos with like really cool music, and he's just saying sayings, you know, like a man's worth is only what he's like, a man's worth is only his word.
And these things were said how long ago?
These things were said like hundreds of years ago. See, back in when Marcus Aurelius was king,
well,
he wrote this.
See, that's what I mean. Like it's always been there. So a lot of people, you know, there's going to be science in a lot of things, and there's going to be a lot of cool things that you can do. But at the end of the day, a lot of it, most of it, all up here. Like, let's be real, you know what I mean? Like, it's there's a lot that comes into it, but at the end of the day, if you have that right mindset, or you know, if you were able to control a lot of your emotions and things that are going on.
This episode of the Honeybadger Hour podcast is brought to you by the Original Clippers Barbershop, located on 14227 South Dixie Highway. Make an appointment today. You can find them on the Booksy booking app or call 305-964-7882. More than 20 plus years in the game. And that's the original Clippers Barbershop. Master barbers for a master fighter.
The mind is a very, very powerful thing. Imagine having that sort of access earlier in life. It's very hard to get that access to these things in this day and age.
Especially nowadays with the social media and the clout.
Everything,
and the
right? And then, like, you know, discipline too. Like, I mean, like, let's be real. You can't sit there and, you know, you got to try and mix in fun and, you know, education and, you know, well-being. Like, there's so many other over layers in today's. Yeah, where back then it wasn't really like that. It was like, all right, you probably had to be hard and just be able to, you know what I mean? So you're always going to be resilient, durable, and you're always going to have that tough stuff where, you know, you got to try and find that in this world that we're in now, which is going to be a lot harder to do, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I've been lucky enough where I feel like I've somehow channeled into that. Don't know where I got it from. Don't know where it was.
The Greek Macedonian genes,
yes,
maybe.
could have just come from. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, that's why I say it could be blood, and then life experiences, and then just maybe some little thing that triggered me to really want to think a certain way and get me in that direction. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but there's something that's obviously there. Yeah. There's something that's always been there. Like even early in the days, like I've always wanted to be, and even when I was playing football or whatever it is, like. I'd always try and avoid trouble and stuff. But I mean, if I was in a situation where, can hit the fan, like whether it is a submission or whatever it is, or whether it's in the streets or whatever, there's a me is like, oh no, yeah, we don't want to do that. No, let's avoid it. But it goes there, it's like, that's it. I've got a job to do. You know what I mean? I've got a job to do, and I'm gonna deal with it. I'm a problem solver. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get it done. So it's a weird one, like, so it's something that's always been there for me. So even when I was playing football, like I was a guy that, you know, a lot of people want the ball on the goal line. They want to score the try. They want to score the goal. Not many people want to get it out of the goal line, you know, defend and all that, and really put, you know. So everyone, some people won't have a choice, but people won't choose to. All right, I'll get us out of here, and I'll run at the brick wall. You know, that's pretty much what it is when you're playing rugby league. It's like running at a brick wall. Yeah. Especially for my size, what I was. We now end. Some people had no choice. You just got past the ball. Me, I was pushing people out of the way and was like, I'll get us out of here. You know what I mean? I'll get us out of here because it was my duty. That's how I looked at it. It was my job. And even though I would literally take it away from people, maybe sort of knowing they didn't want to do it, or it was just me. I'll get it done. I know I'll get us out of here. I'm going to do it. So I took charge in them situation. Where closer to their line, you see a lot more other people. All of a sudden, I'll take charge now. All right, you can take charge. You know what I mean? Everyone's eager. Everyone's keen. All right, I won't get the ball as much on the try line.
That's like that Michael Jordan.
That's probably shots fired at some of my teammates. You know, that's with more love. They could probably back me with some of that anyway.
Hey, when the aliens take over and there's an AI war, I'm nominating you to be the captain of the team humans, bro.
Problem solver, mate. That's what I mean. That's why I think it goes back, and maybe it does, that bloodline, you know what I mean? It goes back in that warrior spirit. I'm telling you, I'm a problem solver. Put a puzzle in front of me. Put a problem in front of me. I'm going to figure it out. Or I'm going to be calm in the process, no matter how hard that shit hits the fan, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I remember in the last cast when we were talking about the Yair Rodriguez matchup, and you were talking about how much you know, like, this is like, it's such a fun puzzle for you because it's like, yeah, it's dangerous and it's crazy, but you want that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like I said, like you go through camp, you're like, oh yeah, you got to watch this, got to watch that, and you know that. But I know, like, now I'm starting to get through the time where it's like I needed my mental state had to be like fear this, fear that, fear, like, you know, maybe fear things for me to prepare how I need to. But now I'm getting closer to the fight. I'm gonna this guy up. You know, that's how it is. You know what I mean? Now it's like I'm gonna squash this. You know what I mean? Like, so that's how it went. It went from, you know, I've got to do this, got to do that. Like, oh yeah. So it kept me on my toes. It made me prepare. I'm able to do that, but I'm able to flip a switch and be like, there's no way you're doing any of that. And if you do, I'm gonna laugh it off. I'm gonna give it to you, you know, because of it. So you can see it now. I was even getting physio last night with Bainesy, and it was like, yeah, the whole time is different. And then last night I went to a point, I'm gonna squash this. You know what I mean? He goes, You know, it's just funny how it went from the mentality mindset switch. Just went, all right, yeah, you prepared how you need to. Now it's, you know, so I did the preparation. I did what I need to. So, but now I've got a job to do. There's no time for fear. You know what I mean? There's no time for second guessing yourself. I know what to do. I'm going to be confident doing it.
Bald Volk is here this week.
Bald Volk is here to everybody. Man, we swear. You're gonna, make sure you beep that out. You got to beep that out for
okay.
YouTube, what is it called?
Or?
Yeah, monetize it. So
Oh yeah, that's right. I know, I didn't know that.
Sorry,
you know
there's a few swear words in there. So
no, you're all right. Let it all out, mate. We're gonna just.
I see. Yeah, Bald Volk. You know, I see that mind switch change. He swears a bit. You know.
Yeah, but and Puzzle Volk is just like, oh yeah, you know, I like the case.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, very professional and all that. Obviously, I'm professional the whole way through, but then there's a switch, and then it's just a.
It's time to let the demon out.
You're done.
Let's go. It's time to let the demon out, baby. We're in Las Vegas. Another big match that's coming up. I think I know who you got your money on. Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. You moved around with Mark. I was telling people the other day, I was like, hey, man, Elon's better start training because my boy Mark can throw kicks, and he got some spinning kicks, bro. He threw spinning shit at you, bro.
Well, yeah, and he's athletic too. Sorry,
there you go.
He's athletic as well, which is... what were we saying again? Sorry.
Zuckerberg and
you
Elon
stuffed up my podcast, Brenton.
The goddamn wombat.
Nah,
fucking wombat.
Where were we?
Mumfords, bro. What can you do?
Yeah.
What do you... Elon Musk versus Mark
that's
Zuckerberg.
it. So, yeah, so with Zuck, like, he's athletic. He's a bit of an athlete, mate. Like, and when I say that, isn't just someone who likes to do things. Like, he's good at what he does. You know, like, wave surfing. I don't know if you've seen him foiling and wave surfing. That ain't easy. You've got to be coordinated. You've got to be fit, especially for the foiling, because you've got to actually keep yourself moving. So, like, 2 minutes on that thing, you'll be tired. Like, he goes, mate, I've seen him on that thing for ages. I mean, you need to be athletic. You need to be fit. Yeah. So, he's fit, and he's done martial arts, and he's pretty athletic. He's definitely undersized to Elon, so that's where we can even the playing field, which is good.
Oh, it's like heavyweight versus featherweight.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm still backing Zuck.
It's a good handicap.
Yeah, good backing Zuck. I'm telling you, I don't know what I think it's going to happen. A lot of people are like, yeah, it's going to happen. Then you got a lot of people like, how? It's too much on the line. Think of these guys. But I don't know, man. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, but all these famous...
Get me on that card.
On the undercard. Imagine being on the undercard of Elon and Zuck.
Yeah, exactly right, man.
Bro, these guys, these guys, everybody wants to fight now. Everybody wants to be top G's, bro. You got Jake Paul, all the guys, everybody
Logan Paul.
Now these guys want to fight?
Logan Paul wants to be on that card too. Like he even said, he goes, you'll fight for free. He wanted Paddy Pimblett.
This is going to happen.
Like I'm telling you, he's like, you know what I mean? Like UFC, could you imagine Dana being like, oh, we need to make this happen, man? Like, how big is that for the sport? Let's think about it. Think of the eyes you're bringing to the sport. You know, I think the demographic, Logan Paul's still going to bring a bit of a different demographic, I think for sure. Imagine Elon and Zuck. Imagine the people you're bringing to the sport. You know what I mean? Like, these are two of the most powerful people in the world, you know what I mean? Like, they're very powerful dudes. They're like right up there, the richest, you know what I mean, billionaires who got not only eyes on the sport, willing to compete. Can you imagine the change that's going to happen? Imagine when, you know, you're going to try and get politics involved. It's like, oh, yeah, they don't want to go mainstream because it's brutal sport and all. When you got these guys running the world, like it seems like, right? You're like,
yo, for real,
and then all of a sudden they're taking it serious and all that. Be like, all right, well, how can we not? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I think it's a massive, absolutely massive that they're even talking about it. And that's why I'm getting asked about. I've been getting asked about it all week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a big deal. And I'm sure, like, you know, I think I'm doing sunrise today, so it's going to be morning back home. And I guarantee you they ask about it. Because, you know, they usually wouldn't, you know, they probably usually wouldn't, back home, do too much on UFC, do too much on MMA or myself.
Wow.
Now, you know what I mean? Like, I guarantee it's definitely something they're going to be paying attention to as well. Bet you it gets brung up. And if it does, I'll get back to you and be like, I told you, this could be a trend of things to come with things like that happening.
It will change the game, and for money-wise, to the sport, and then the eyes on you guys, you know?
Ah, mate, exactly right. For the sport. Obviously, you know, you got the UFC going, woo! But, I mean, even for us, you know what I mean? Even
for the coaches,
even
man.
For everyone, even people that are covering the sport. You know what I mean? Like yourself covering the sport.
Yeah.
It's big for everyone. It's just going to explode.
It's gonna be more, more eyes,
And it's
more
already
dollars.
massive. UFC's already massive, right? But
So big, so big. I give it to Jake Paul and the boys. They really brought a lot. We were talking about boxing last time. They really brought the eyes on boxing. You
Yep.
see, boxing is making a good rise,
Yep.
and now MMA can stay and compete. It's a great time to be a martial artist. You know, great time to be at the peak of your career, man.
100%.
You know?
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be
It's-
awesome, bro.
Yeah, it's unreal. Like look at some of the people that you see turn up to UFC events. Who have I seen? I've seen
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, well, Mel Gibson. I mean, like I'm talking about. Yeah, so like Zuck's been there. Elon's obviously a fan. He wants to do it.
Trump came to Izzy's fight.
Trump
Got a standing ovation in Miami,
yeah.
baby.
Trump.
Yeah.
Who else was it? I think the guy that started like Spotify. Did the guy from Amazon go there as well? Maybe I don't know. But like you know what I mean?
Bezos.
I don't know.
He's a
I
Cuban from Miami.
don't know, mate. I don't know.
Amazon
But
guy.
I mean, you get what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
who would have ever thought like you know people that are running billion-dollar businesses and all that are going to be so intrigued in this. Like it wasn't happening not too long ago. Obviously, it was a little bit, but now it's everyone's taking notice of this sport. This sport's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's good.
And fighting is I think for me, like, and I don't know if it's just because we competed and we trained our whole lives, but I feel like fighting is the most pure competitive sport. Like it's the most purest art form of expression out there.
Yeah.
Like when you're out there and the fifth round after the Ortega fight, like that's the most real and raw you're ever gonna see somebody's emotions. You know, and like
And
you just can't get that throwing a ball, man.
I mean, it's funny you say that, like, because we talk about how the world's changing, right?
Yeah.
The world's changing a lot. However, you know, I'm not here to offend you anyway, but it's changing a lot. So you can see, but it's good to still have some of that old school.
Some man
you know
shit,
what?
bro.
I think that's going to eventually get a lot of people go, you know what? We need a little bit of rawness and you know, we need a little bit of that in our lives because it's going completely, you know what I mean? Like
Opposite way, bro.
like so it's weird. So obviously you want balance, right? You don't want it to we don't want to sit there and go back to how it was fucking 100 years ago. Excuse my French. But at the same time, let's get a bit of balance. Let's find the best of all worlds. So you know what I mean? A lot of people might start paying attention. They'll be like, you know what? I don't like this trending too much. Give me a bit of this in my life too. You know what I mean? Like, come watch us if you need a little bit of life, you know what I mean?
Aggression,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
no, not aggression. It's still a sport, but I mean, you know what I mean? A bit of rawness. I like the word rawness, competitive, and realness.
Real.
You know, this is as real as it gets. UFC. You know what I mean? Like compared to we're talking millions of years ago. It's as real as it gets.
Yeah, yo, you're right, man. Like back in the day, everybody had to be hard. You wouldn't survive. Everybody you had to be like you had to know how to farm, you had to know how to hunt, and you probably had to know how to fight because if not, somebody would probably just take everything from you. They'll probably take your wife, take your kids, and you're gone. So it was like definitely something more naturally instilled in us, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But nowadays, it's like the technology and the social media. The times have really changed, you know. So like
It has. I mean, like, and it's tricky to get into, right? Because it can go in there, but then it's.
Yeah.
I'll stay.
Luckily,
out of
we're
it.
not live. Don't worry, we're not live.
Yeah,
dog,
I'll
so-
stay out of it. I'm always sitting on the fence of everything. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Like,
it's all right, man.
I'm a fence sitter, but I mean, yeah, I can look at some things and be like, oh, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. Let's fucking, you know, I'm always within reason. You know what I mean? With everything I do in life, and that's something that's helped me a lot as well.
Man, I think that everybody's in the middle, but it's just the power. I don't know. Maybe it's like the powers that be. They just want us fighting or something. You know, like that's how it seems.
That's
We're
it.
going there.
I'm drawing. You know, give it. I knew he wanted to go there, didn't he?
No.
He wanted to go there. I just.
So
I just said, just hey, balance in your life. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that.
UFC 290 fight week back at featherweight. We were talking about before with the Makachev fight, you know, feeling the weight, but now you said you're feeling good again at featherweight, back to your speed and lightness. How you feel back at this weight class now?
Yeah, well, I mean, camp was definitely like it was funny. Like through the Islam camp, obviously it was a big camp, hard, had big bodies and just so much wrestling. But carrying all that weight for your meat grinders, your spiders, and all them sessions, all the wrestling. It was like, far out, my body would feel it. We're going through these sessions, you're going to get nigglies and that, but I mean, I wasn't getting the legs like so, like they needed so much more. They were recovering good. So even though I wasn't eating much, right? Like, not as much as I was eating for the Islam. So it was, I don't know, just I think health-wise, I feel like it was a lot better this time. And then obviously movement and things like that. You're obviously going to have that speed advantage, which is what I want. Next time I go to lightweight, I'm definitely going to make sure I'm that little bit lighter.
Yeah, me and Shay were talking about how fast you looked in the Korean in the zombie fight, and then the Holloway fight. You just added on to it, you know. So I feel like you like being like that light, lean and mean.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Your style,
well, even
you know?
when I competed, because I could get up to 76, 77 kilograms if I want.
Yeah.
This weekend for the fight, but I won't. I'm going to try and get to about 74, where I feel like I'm best. 74 is ideal for me.
That's
at
nice.
featherweight. At lightweight, probably 76 I'll go.
Okay,
no more. No more than 75, 76.
Lean and mean at lightweight.
I could do that right now if I wanted, but that's where I want to sit.
I like that, especially for your style, you know, to have a little bit of cushion for the pushing.
Me at 71, me at 66 kilograms, I'm still a strong Emma. What was it? MFer. Even though I swore
strong
that many.
Mother sucker.
Yeah. I swore that much. I tried to, may as well just run with it. But you know, even at no matter how light, so I don't need that extra 2 kilos. I know I'm strong, and I proved it in the last one. I proved it. I knew it myself, but I proved it to myself last time. So I know I don't need to try and be stronger. I know my technique and my strength already. I reckon I'm pound for pound one of the strongest guys in the UFC. I truly do believe that. When it comes to strength.
I
mean, there's a lot of things. I've got me as pound for pound right up there for the fight, as a fighter. But I mean, like, even like strength.
That's what I'm saying. Like for weight, like you get a middleweight and you get you're gonna like
you get
strength difference. You're gonna be like, what?
You get my me in a heavyweight body now. I'll lift this casino up right now.
Volk, I appreciate the time, man. We met in 2013. We got the boys in the house. We were all talking about. It's crazy how we always talk about these times when they were gonna come, and they're all here now. We've been telling the whole world we got the one, and now they know he's the one. 4th title defense. This is your 5th title defense now.
Fifth. So it'll be my. How many fight? Yeah, so this will be my 6th title fight. No, 7th title fight.
Oh, 7th. Makachev was a title fight.
That's a title fight. So 7th title fight.
7th 5-rounders, baby.
Sure. This weekend, yeah. So I fought for the title, then defended it 4 times. I'm going to defend it again, and then I went for the lightweight 7.
7 times.
So it's a lot.
7 times in the title, and now you're just becoming familiar territory. Just
getting
better
man.
And better,
just
right?
another day in the office, man. You know what I mean? Like it's, but I mean, like I said, we're flipping that switch right now. So you know, bored Volk, every year he just gets a little bit more angry, and poor training partners have to deal with that sometimes. But
Bull Volk is here. We've already taken too much of your time. We cannot wait to see you do this work, Volk. Appreciate it, my brother.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you all. Make sure you tune in. This is a man. Comedian, have you seen you get your comedian videos up there as well?
Yeah, I'm getting
That's
my
my
jokes
guy,
up
you know
there.
what I mean? Yeah,
Hey,
it's good.
Because of you,
Wake
dog.
up,
You
you
know
gotta
this
do a
podcast was because of you, dog.
Oh, yeah?
When in Tiger Muay Thai, you said, oh, man, you need to have somebody with a camera in front of you just following you around. And, yo,
there it
I had
is.
to listen to the chant, dog.
Good man. And stay tuned. We might even I might need a little comedic act while I'm
cutting weight tonight?
again. You know
I got
mean?
you. I'm going to write some jokes right now.
Let's do it.
I'm going to write some jokes on all the boys who are going to be in the room. That's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to do that right now.
Take the piss of all the boys.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. We'll start with
you guys get on. You guys
Frank.
get in first on this little. See, we just figured this out right now. You're going to see it soon.
Oh, yeah. So they're gonna see
exclusive
this soon.
shit right here for you.
And then we're gonna do this on. We'll do a Patreon or something, and Shay will just go live, dog, and we'll just go at him, everybody.
Yeah, done. All right, that's just for you guys.
I love it. Taking the piss, episode. Taking the piss. UFC 290 exclusives. My man, ladies and gentlemen, Honeybadger Hour. We're out.